Hello, welcome to Clarity Tarot. It is November 6th. Is that right? I think it's November 6th today. Anyway, it's the day after Election Day here in the US, and I was thinking what would be a good topic, and I decided what is a hopeful message? I need a little hope today. Others of you out there maybe need a message of what is there to be really hopeful about in your life as of the day that you come across this reading. So that's what we'll be looking into. This is a pick a card. There are 4 different piles, and it's a general reading, so not every message will apply to you. First pile we have is the orange pen. Pile 2 is purple pen. Pile 3 is the green pen, and pile 4 we have this mechanical pencil. And check the description box for your timestamps, and I'll see you at your reading. And we're going to start with pile 1. Hey, pile 1, you have just one card, and let's see, what is there to be hopeful about? Page of Wands. Well, this is, there's lots of possibilities to explore, lots of options. I mean, Page of Wands, you can see this person like looking out over the horizon. It's like, what could be? What else is out there for me? This is like adventurer energy, exploratory. The world is my oyster. It gives me the vibe of someone who's like, let's say going off to university for the first time, or moving away from home, or moving to a new city, a new country. And even though there's maybe kind of that fear or anxiety, there's also the excitement, right? The what could happen now, the possibility, could even be like a new job, so or a new relationship. So what is there to be hopeful about? Like you are at a particular point in your life, in your journey right now, where the sky's the limit. And I'm getting the sense that maybe there's a few of you out there that doesn't quite feel true right now, or doesn't feel like you have as many options as this reading is saying that you do. And so I actually want to pull a card for that. So Spirit, if there's anyone in group 1 who doesn't see all these options, can you say more about what it is maybe they're not seeing? Or maybe this is something that's on its way to them but isn't there right now. 2 of Swords. So 2 of Swords is a defensive energy. It's literally, so swords is mental. And so it's literally being of 2 minds. This is the New York City tarot, but in a traditional tarot deck, you'll see someone with like the 2 swords crossed in front of their head, in front of their mind. And so for this to come out as to, like, for those of you that may not feel like you have a lot of options, it's saying there's something about your outlook. There's something about the way that you're choosing to see the situation where it feels like you have no choices. So this actually reminds me of the days when I was really struggling being married and feeling like, but I promised this person forever, and I stood in front of my family, my friends, I promised before God that I would be with this person forever. Like, I have no choices. There's no option for me with that. And it took a long time for me, this is just, an example of what this energy could be like, but it took a long time for me to see that, yes, like that promise and that vow was made authentically, and it's important to honor that, but not beyond my own health and wellness, not to the destruction of my life. That's not something that God would want to me. That was my personal understanding that I came to, and that's when I saw that I had other options, such as separation or considering a life without being married to this person. So that would be an example of 2 of Swords energy, when I was like, well, no, I said I was going to do this, and that's it. I don't have choices now. But it's anything where you have some kind of self-imposed limitation. And usually this does come from our values in one way or another. So that might resonate for you. Let me see if I can think of another example. So I'm thinking of the example of like with moving. Maybe you're in an apartment and it's really not a healthy place for you. Let's say there's some kind of environmental issue, or your neighbors are really noisy, or I actually have a friend right now who moved into this apartment that she really loves, but she didn't realize it's like on one of the busiest streets in the city. And so every night when she's trying to sleep, it's like very, very noisy. Two of Swords energy in that situation might be something like, well, I signed the lease. Like, I can't just break the lease. I'd have to pay a penalty. Well, yeah, maybe in like most situations you wouldn't want to do it, but it's not that you literally have no choices. Like, maybe it's worth paying that penalty, whatever it is, to have a safer space. Like, if you can pay the money, or literally if it's somewhere that's like unsafe for you, like that matters more than what you'd have to pay. So it's something like that here. There's more, you have options and there is hope. You're not trapped. If you feel like you're in this situation and there's nothing that can be done, Spirit's saying like, actually, no, there's hope. There's a lot more possibilities than what you might see. And Spirit, can we have an example of that for maybe for those that are watching Pile 1 that, let's say, that are struggling the most? What would be an example for them of an option that they don't currently see? What would be an example of an option for them that they don't currently see? Okay, we have a couple cards falling out. We have Three of Swords and Nine of Swords. A couple things coming up with this. Like, so Three of Swords to me is, as like advice, would be cut it off with that person, break up with them, stop talking to them, be willing to break their heart to preserve your own. Nine of Swords could be, I'm really drawn to like the cat here, and there's the phone that's like plugged in, the person's not looking at it. For me, this is like, put the phone down, don't respond for a while. It's get some rest. It might even like get some mental health support in one way or another, inpatient or outpatient. It's like you have choices. You don't have to be at this person's beck and call. This also reminds me of, people that might be in kind of a caretaking role, whether literally like for your job or just like socially. Like, let's say you have a sick family member or something, and it's like, oh, I'm their caretaker. I can't leave them alone. And of course, in many situations, like it might literally be that you can't leave them alone, but you might have choices such as getting someone to cover for you, such as leaving them alone for small periods of time when it would still be safe, only dealing with them at certain times of the day or of the week, or finding someone to help out. Like there are choices that you're not thinking of right now. Okay, so anything else, Spirit, that I missed for this reading that would be helpful for Pile 1 people? Yeah, we have Seven of Swords. So this is have a strategy. So in the example of a caretaker, if you're caretaking someone who has a chronic illness, or let's say is like in cancer treatments, and like, I'm so sorry if that's you. You can't love them, you can't take care of them if you're falling apart. So anything that you do for yourself, you're also doing for them. So like, what's the strategy to both care for you and care for them? And if it's not that situation, if it's more like you're looking to, let's say, like, what are my job options, or how could I change my living situation? Again, have a strategy. Maybe some parts of that strategy could be talk to some people about living situations they like. Let people know that you're looking for a job. Take a couple steps every day that would be useful and like kind of taking you down that road. And I want to bring us back to the topic of this reading, which is like something hopeful. And again, like the hopeful message for you from Spirit is that place where you feel trapped, even if you might not see it right now, there are options. So for some of you, if you're really overwhelmed, maybe the best thing you can do is just in your heart hold out for the possibility that, okay, there is a way out of this. I'm not as trapped as I feel. And maybe even pray a prayer like please give me eyes to see. those opportunities when they arrive so that I don't miss them if it's too much to try to like generate those in your own mind. I also want to mention, like, look at all the swords cards we have here. We have the 2, the 3, the 7, and the 9. So this tells me like so much mental energy, overthinking, anxiety is what this gives me, also like that churning mind. So anything that helps like relax your thoughts could be helpful. Look at your caffeine intake. I'm hearing sometimes a lot of extra caffeine can add to this like churning, overthinking mind. But you're not going to feel like this forever. It is going to change. This is not the end. You're not trapped where you are, pile 1. Okay, this was your reading. I hope it was helpful for you. Please leave me a like, comment, or subscribe. I'd love to hear what you thought about this. Take care, and thanks so much. See you in the next reading. Okay, pile 2. If you picked the purple pen, this is going to be your reading. And we are asking, what is something hopeful, a hopeful message for you? We have justice, death, Wheel of Fortune, Temperance, and Page of Swords. Wow, 4 major arcana all in a row there. Look at that. So whatever you're going through right now, it is I want to say like a fated or a destined event. Anytime we have this many major arcana, to me, this is the message of like, you are always going to hit this somehow, somewhere, at some moment. So maybe the particulars of your situation, like that wasn't necessarily destined for you, but whatever change it has initiated or whatever experience you've had in this situation was always going to happen and was always going to resolve in your favor with a massive transformation and balancing of your spirit, of your soul, of your life force. And with Page of Swords, Page of Swords for me is always about like a watching energy or a thinking or like observing. And so the message I'm getting with this is like, be hopeful. You get to just sit back and watch this happen. So I'm getting the story here of someone who's gone through something really major. So you've been through the ringer, pile 2. I think it's been really tough. You've had a lot of lessons that you've like passed or graduated from. And so you're a changed person. It's already happened here with the Death card and the Justice and the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, all of these. It's like you're in the process of that balancing happening. And there's nothing you need to do to maintain the changes you've gone through. Now you're just going to see the results. I feel like I could share so many examples from my own life with this, but nothing in particular is coming to mind, but I'm feeling the need to like give you an example. So like to say more generally, this would be like, let's say you've had some kind of health issue where it really has impacted you negatively. And even just something as simple as a virus, maybe you had the flu or even like coronavirus or something. And so you're very sick for a long time, you took care of yourself, and now health has returned. And so it's like, there's no maintenance required for that exactly. Like you don't have to go about your life protecting yourself from the coronavirus or the flu in any like extreme way. Like it's over. You had that. This is probably not the greatest example because you can catch a virus again, but I think you know what I mean. But it's like that part of life is over. You're in a new state of health. Your immune system is actually stronger. It's like if you've had the flu once or if you've had coronavirus once, like you're going to be less susceptible this next time. And there's nothing that you have to do to make that happen. It just already is. It's maintenance free. It doesn't require anything from you. And you just get to see and watch like how you experience it this time. So like maybe you catch coronavirus 6 months or 2 years later and you get sick again, but it's like a third of the intensity of what you had before. I don't know, just as an example. But I think what Spirit's wanting to highlight with this watching energy is like, this is a gift for you. I'm getting a really positive vibe from this card. Like, Spirit wants to recognize just how intense it was for you, how much you went through, and how that time is behind you. And now you get to almost like meet yourself again, like learn about yourself again. That prior version of you no longer exists. And the way people interacted with you also is no longer going to exist in the future. So that tells me that this is something about a way that you interacted with others. Maybe you had more codependent patterns when you were in this prior version. Maybe you allowed certain kinds of treatment that you don't allow now. And just because that shift, which might have felt really subtle to you, that shift has happened within you, like your entire life will transform. Because think about like something as simple as expecting better treatment from others, how that impacts every area of your life. I mean, it impacts how you are if you order at a restaurant, how you are if you go to a governmental office, how you are in your friendships, your family, with your partner, with your children. And that in turn like impacts your health, your mental state, all of it. So it's like just this domino effect of like one change after the other that again is not maintained by you. Like the change has happened, and so now you get to just see the result, which is amazing. What else here, Spirit, do you want pile 2 to know about this? What's hopeful for them right now? What else is hopeful for pile 2? We have 6 of Swords, which is leaving something behind. Especially mentally with the swords, it's like closing that door in your mind. Magician, maybe there's specifically a person that you are closed off to. You no longer allow them to treat you a certain way. We have 4 of Pentacles reversed, and this Page of Swords is wanting to come up reversed. So I'm getting this is actually about a person. So for some of you, at least one of you watching will resonate with a particular person that perhaps you allowed in, let's just say it that way, allowed in or allowed to treat you in a way that you no longer are okay with. You're no longer like watching and looking for this person, trying to create opportunities to be with them. You're not holding on to the situation because it doesn't meet your standards anymore. You've leveled up. And I think this person maybe showed you in a more extreme way. If you resonate with the story of, just, I guess, accepting less than what you're worth, this person made that really obvious because of what you put up with from them. And once you saw that, and saw it clearly, you initiated this change of moving on from it mentally with the 6 of Swords. You decided like, no, this is not me. This is not how I want to be. It's not okay. I'm not doing it. And so you've left it behind. And Spirit's just wanting to congratulate you for that. Like, not easy. And again, just to reiterate, like Spirit wants you to watch this unfolding as a gift, because it's a gift for you to see the new you and how much everything is better in your life because of these changes you've made. Really amazing, pile 2. I hope this resonated for you. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. I like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to know next time I upload, or if you just want to support the channel. And I'll see you in the next reading. Thanks so much for being here. Hey, pile 3, if you picked the green pen, let's see what's hopeful. A hopeful message for you today. We have the Hangman, 5 of Wands in the reverse, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, the Devil in the reverse, and the Moon. Interesting. A hopeful message for you. You don't have to fight anymore. If there's some kind of ongoing conflict in your life that's really been stressing you out, Spirit is saying, like, you don't need to show up in a combative energy with that anymore. It's okay just to let things settle, just to see things from somebody else's perspective, and not to put more effort into this, not to hold on. So the moon card for me is usually, I mean, even when it's upright, it's usually kind of a negative connotation because it's like everything emotionally that's under the surface, the tangle of unconscious needs and feelings, past traumas, past lives. It's like it's a big gloopy mess in there is how I tend to see this card. But in your reading, it's coming through so positive. I'm really thinking and settling into this person's posture. It's like it feels a little bit dreamy to me, and like they're just kind of hanging out, similar to the Hanged Man. It's like, I'm just here, I'm chilling, this is me. I imagine this person like at home with some plants, sipping some tea, maybe reading a book, not answering their phone, like just relaxing. And I think there's a time like this coming for you, or maybe it's already here for many of you. And this is the hope. It's like you don't have to be out there hustling. Maybe this is even work related for some of you, where all of us have times in our lives where you really have to hit it hard. You have to hustle, you have to prove yourself, you have to scrape 2 pennies together to get by. And that time is not now for you. You're able to coast a little bit. You're able to be in your own energy, to be in your own vibe, to not be pushing a rock uphill, to not be proving your worth to others. Like, you can just relax. So I'm getting the vibe for some of you that you're already pretty much aware of this, but maybe your reaction has been like, I don't know. Is it okay just to slow down? Is it okay to do nothing? Like if I do nothing, what's going to happen? Am I going to backslide? Am I going to lose everything that I've built? And so, I mean, I could certainly just tell you, no, I don't see that here, but let's ask the cards. So what's going to happen if pile 3 settles even more into this energy? Wow. And we have the Strength card. Maybe you'll have the opportunity to be with some more of your furry friends if you have cats, dogs, or other pets that you really love being with. That's a side message for some of you. Like you'll have more opportunity to be with them. But the other thing that's going to come from this is strength. The Strength card is about not just physical strength, it's emotional. It's like depth of character, actually. And this reminds me about physical or masculine and feminine energy. Like that pushing, that hustling energy, that masculine energy is so important, but it's not complete if we don't also allow, if we don't also rest, if we also don't let things kind of take their own time and have their own process. This actually reminds me of baking. I've been doing a lot of baking this year, and it's kind of maddening because anybody out there that works with dough, this. It's like it kind of has a mind of its own. It wants to only be handled so much at certain times. Then it wants to rest. Then it wants to be in a cool spot. Then it wants to be in a warm spot. And like there's no hurrying it. Like it needs the time that it needs to come to its fullness. Like literally. I just love the puns. The kneading, you get what I'm saying. And there's something similar here. Like this time of rest it's not like, okay, I stop hustling and so I just don't create anything. No, it's still active. It doesn't seem like you're doing anything, but the allowing it's still active time. So it's still moving you and your goals forward. It's not just this like passive rest state that it might seem. This is an amazing reading, pile 3. I hope I get this someday. It's like, especially I think in Western countries, or at least maybe just I relate to this. It's hard to really let yourself take a beat and not keep grinding, not keep hustling. But that's exactly what Spirit is saying here. And not just to do it, but it's like the most productive thing you can do. And it's hopeful. I think the reason it's coming through as a hopeful message is that It's like Spirit's wanting to show you this truth of the universe, that rest is also active, it's powerful, it has an impact, it's transformative. It brings strength from what previously wasn't there. Just like a muscle, you break a muscle down through exercise or weightlifting or whatnot, but you can't just keep doing that every day. It needs the time to restore, to come back stronger, and that's the period that you're in. So pile 3, this was your reading. I hope this resonated for you. Please let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear your story in a comment if you want to share. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're interested in future updates, and I will see you in the next reading. All right, hey pile 4, if you picked the mechanical pencil, this is going to be your reading, and we are asking, what's something hopeful I can share with you? We have the Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Nine of Wands, and Five of Cups. So I think you've been in a time of grief. Pile 4. This could be for any number of reasons. Maybe you lost someone close to you. Maybe you changed jobs, changed locations, changed dynamics in a relationship. Whatever the change has been that's making you feel sad, this could even be maybe a political change in the country you live in that you're finding very overwhelming and shocking and terrifying. Not to put myself too much in the reading here, but if you're experiencing any of those things, Spirit is coming through to tell you, like, yes, it's overwhelming right now, but you're almost at the end with the Nine of Wands. Like, keep going, allow yourself to feel everything, because what's coming is new possibilities and a renewal of your life force. Ace of Wands is like passion, stimulation, new possibility. The other message I'm getting with this pencil, so like you picked the only one that has an eraser, where something can be erased. So no matter what happened here, something can be erased or righted in the end. If it seems like whatever happened, like there's no coming back from, or it's just like death, desolation, destruction, nothing can grow anymore, Spirit wants you to know, like, actually that's not true. Everything here can be reversed. And if this like is a reading that could potentially, what am I trying to say? Potentially apply to the situation in the US, that would be amazing. But an example would be like, yeah, some kind of political change where if new policies are written, future politicians can actually change those. They can reverse them. So there is always that possibility of things being erased. If it's a relationship and you feel like there's been this massive fight or breakdown of the relationship, like this relationship can come back in a new form with renewed vitality and passion with the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is just such a positive sign. And for me, it's always about newness, new life, new growth. And like we see here, this particular deck, it's like these vines or these branches that are sprouting flowers and leaves. And that's really how I see it. Like there's something coming that is there's going to be not just a calm after the storm, but like new growth, new life is going to come after this. So if you're in a time period right now where it feels like all is lost, there is no hope, things are really rough, and this is like a low point and they're not ever going to get better, they will get better. This is not the end, and nothing here is irreversible. So Spirit, what else for pile 4 for their message of hope? What's important for them? Oh, we have Ace of Cups. That's nice also. The Emperor. What else for pile 4? Message of hope. We have a bunch falling. We're going to put those back. They'll come back if it's important. Pile 4. Pile 4, please. A message of hope. Queen of Cups. Ten of Swords. Knight of Swords at the back. So what else is hopeful here? Like, I guess Spirit wanted to me to add. So with the Ace of Wands, I was talking about a new beginning, passion, something positive. And the Ace of Cups appearing here is letting me know, like, and also that is full of love. Like, it's not just about passion and inspiration. Like, there's deep caring and affection here. So for those of you that are asking about a relationship, it might be between an Emperor type and a Queen of Cups type. You could be either one. These are gender neutral. They're just energies. But the Emperor embodies masculine energy, like very, very in charge and control of the world around them. I'm noticing these like high rises and mansions in the back. I actually just visited a mansion nearby here called the Biltmore, which is in North Carolina, just across the border from where I live. And I did a tour of this house, and they shared a lot about like the architects and the people that like planned this, which I guess it was for like the Vanderbilt family 150 years ago, something like this. And just like the level of detail and planning that went into this construction project was mind-boggling. They took us down to the basement, and you could see like the foundation of the building, which was all these like individual rocks that were then laid for the foundation of the building. And I've never seen something so exacting and perfectly straight in all of my life. It was like kind of mind-blowing. But to me, that's Emperor energy. You know, it's like everything in its place, everything well ordered, well thought out, very strategic and managed. And Queen of Cups is a very different energy. It's emotional, it's empathic, nurturing to others, very, very open-hearted, but also with a sense of like your own boundaries, like where somebody else begins and you end, and like knowing where those lines should be in a way. So I know this is the Ten of Swords that we have out here, which is about like a painful ending. But the way this is coming out, like I'm noticing that all of these swords are actually pointing at her, but not touching the person here. And then we have the 3 swords. So there's 7 of swords there, and then 3 swords on the back. I think you already have had a broken heart in this situation, whether it's political, whether it's a job, whether it's relational, whatever it is. But the other 7 swords you're worried about, like the further betrayal or backstabbing or total destruction, those will not touch you, is the meaning that I'm getting. So like the pain that you've experienced in this situation, it's over. You've gone through the worst of it. There is no more for you to deal with. All that's left is renewal, new life, new possibilities, new inspiration, and the opportunity for you to create something that didn't exist before. And again, like erase what there used to be. So for this to be true, like there's a huge transformative process that has to happen. Because like to take the relationship example, like these 2 people created the grief, the difficulty before, like however it happened, maybe it was more on one side or the other, but these 2 people participated in creating that negative occurrence. And now they're coming back together, but with the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands, and there is no destruction. So for that to happen with the same 2 parties, it's like both of them have had to level up, have had to become better versions of themselves. And so whatever negative time you are currently in or have been through has been necessary for the transformation to get to this outcome. So I think that's just another message coming from Spirit, that like have hope, that just because this feels negative doesn't mean it's not going to turn out well. Actually, the destruction that you've gone through has been necessary for a positive outcome. It wasn't a mistake. It's not something catastrophic that can never be changed. It was essential to get to where you need to go next. So this was your reading, Pile 4. I hope it resonated for you. Please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I'm curious how this was for you, this reading, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.